Should be okay. Successful weekend again, Mark. The team went super good on Friday night. You must have been pretty pleased driving home with the team in the back of the truck.
Yeah, we're lucky we pulled a bit of, firepower out, bit of horsepower, and they all raced, up to expectations, and probably a few surprised us. So, a pretty successful night for us.
Rocket Boy came to the end of his little run. He's had a few starts, just not quite strong enough yet. So he's a Christmas horse, obviously.
Yeah, what we always said, he just proved, quick lead time in that race, and he followed through, had a good run every chance, but didn't finish off as good as he should. So he's gone to the paddock now for a couple of months, and we'll get him back for Christmas. And as always said, he'd be a nice maiden around Christmas time, so we'll have a bit of fun with him.
Queen of Dance ran second to Krug, and that was going to be the best result for any other in the field, so you couldn't be too bothered about that. It was a terrific result. She actually went really good.
Yeah, I think running second to Krug will take that as a win for us. He's the best 2-year-old I've seen this season, and for her to run second in that race was a perfect result. I didn't expect her to probably finish in the first half dozen, so she raced above expectations, and it was a good result for the owners, and it probably gives her another chance next week or the next couple of weeks to race, but definitely a good result for her running second to Krug.
Love to see her get back in a handicap stand start again. I reckon she'd be super competitive in the right race.
Yeah, the stand start seemed to suit her better, and we touched on that last week, but she did probably surprise me, which is a good thing. So she keeps surprising us, we'll be happy, but it was a good run.
Burnham Boy was sharp, winning first up, but probably not a major surprise. He did trial pretty good at Ashburton when Mark Purdon drove him.
Yeah, we alluded he was probably the most fought out of our runners, and from the draw, he's always going to get the right run. He could cross the one horse and trial the right horse, and he's duly obliged with that run. He's a nice 3-year-old, and he's done a very good job, and will continue to do so. But from that run over 1980 on the sitting on the markers in the trail, he was always going to be the horse to beat, and he won pretty easy in the end.
Be interesting for you to tell us what Ricky thought of Willison's run, because he stormed home, and probably the first chance I think Ricky's had to get a feel of that horse. And so what did he say when he came back?
Yeah, his opinion after the race was a lot different to what his opinion before the race was. He'd driven Burnham Boy in the past, Ricky, and spoke pretty highly of Burnham Boy, and didn't know much about Willison. But he's a horse I've always had a bit of time for, Willison, and knew he'd get better. And I kind of warned Ricky that before the race, and he raced accordingly. Like he did go a very, very good run, and I think Ricky was pretty impressed after the race. So first up, you couldn't ask for much more than what Willison done. It was a pretty good run.
It was a run away. We know that he only trialled once. Is he going to be on the backup this week?
We'll probably miss this week. It's a setting start, and he hasn't had one of them before, so we'll miss this week and probably go in 2 weeks' time. There's no rush with him. He'll continue to improve, and kind of like to look after these horses. And with the race not being ideal, we'll just wait for 2 weeks' time.
Lulu Lemont's been fantastic too. I thought she didn't get any money, but she was nearly as good as the other two from where she drew and where she finished.
Yeah, it's kind of one that I thought just went okay, just watching the race, but kind of Stride Masters, her and Willison's sectionals were exceptionally good, and she's probably a victim of being high in the ratings. And if she had Burnham's Boy run, she probably would have won that race. So, she'll definitely keep. She drops a point, and she's still in that grade. But, her run was very good, and just needs a barrier draw to be very competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. She's not far away from winning again when she gets that opportunity. Majestic Lavros came up one short, but was beaten by obviously a very good filly, that winner of Kevin Townley's Vacation Hill. She's won the Oaks and has come back an even better horse, so you wouldn't be disappointed at all.
No, I would never disappointed to get beat. Like, we got beat by a better horse on the night. Follow Wayne was too fast for us, and we're at with our guy. He's still pretty big in condition. We look after him, and he'll continue to improve. So he'll probably go around this week, providing these scans come up, good during the week to make sure he's 100%. But we got beat by a better horse on the night. There's probably a bit more forward, and we're happy with second. So he'll improve a bit more, and probably one to follow. And next week or two, he won't be far away from winning.
Yeah, he's very close. We all know that. Plutonium Lady was superb in the last. She was probably a place or two closer than what we thought. The race didn't go to plan or as we thought it would early. There was really no gate speed at all, which was a real major surprise to me. And she ended up getting a beautiful trip into the race, and it all worked out nice. But I don't think it would have mattered in the end. The way she won, she was superior to them.
Yeah, Sam kind of summed the race up. Yeah, she drove it perfect, and she made a comment before the race. There wasn't like a lot of gate speed inside her, and only Melody's Mischief was the one with gate speed that led, and the gate speed out wide didn't come across, which we thought it would. So, yeah, Sam drove it perfect. She got a great run, and yeah, she's a pretty classy filly. So, you know, we probably touched on that. She was the best horse in the race, and when you get a run like that, she was probably always going to win, even though she's a couple of runs short. But yeah, she pulled up short of the line. The ears pricked in that bit. She's a better's delight, and she's got a wee bit of class about her. So, good result for everybody. And you know, I didn't expect to get as good a run from there, but that's was Sam's job, and she gave the perfect trip. So, yeah, she'll improve with that, and probably a filly we're looking forward to in the future with. She should get a bit better.
Yeah, beautiful filly. She did pull up on you at the finish, Mark. So can you rectify that little issue, or is that just something you're quite happy to let go at the moment?
Yeah, we're not too worried at this stage. It's only early days, and you know, we don't get paid more money by winning by a further distance. Sam looked after, and she did knock off when she hit the front, but you know, it's only a second run back, and she's a better, so what she only does what she has to. So, you know, we've got plenty of time to get the improvement out of her, and she pulled up great, ate everything after the race, and you wouldn't think she had a run. So, yeah, I'm not too worried about that. As I said, we don't get paid more money by winning one more, and she pulled up happy horse, so that's the main thing.
That's good. Sunday form went out the window a bit today. Dear old Kokai Sundown had a gallop on the first bend, and his first 200 metres was really good. The rest of it wasn't so great.
Yeah, one of those things with trotters, he began good and kind of pressed forward, and you know, made a mistake in the first bend, which trotters can do. He hasn't done that this time in, but in the past he's been partial to that. So we'll put that one down to experience and turn the page, and he probably deserves another crack. He's racing good, and we're going to get a true line on his form today. So we'll probably go another week and see where we're at.
What do you got this week? Many to go around, or is it a bit of a quieter week this time?
We'll be a lot quieter this week. You know, those ones that race this week, some get a stand this week, which some doesn't suit, and the better ones we kind of like the space their races. So we might have, you know, 4, maybe 5 to go around, but we'll just space them and look after them. And yeah, we kind of might head down south in a week or two, take a team down there. But at this stage, we'll be pretty quiet this week, and probably just let the nicer ones get over their runs, and a couple may back up. But you know, we had a pretty good weekend this week, so hopefully we can do the same again next week.
Well, team's going great. You must be thrilled with the way that they've all gone since lockdown. So the rumours must be true. You must have been working them every day during lockdown.
That was the rumour, and that's what we got accused of. But I can definitely assure you, 100%, we weren't working in the lockdown, and we stuck by the rules. But you know, that's pretty much I think you see every stable at the moment. The winter racing isn't normal winter racing. Everyone's got their spring horses out, and this is premier racing at the moment. You had horses like Krug and William Wallace, and even my team. Like, I took 7 of the races on Friday night, and probably 5 of them would not be racing this time of year, because they would have been in the paddock. But with the breakdown with COVID, they're all back in work, and it's good to get them back to the races. But no, we definitely didn't break the rules that we got accused of, and you know, we got some horsepower there, and if we look after them, we've a good next 6 months or so. But yeah, we'll just be quiet this week anyway.
Well, you weren't the only one being accused of it, Mark, so don't get too carried away with it. There was a few, I think. So there's a few idiots out there in this world, but we can't really control what they're up to, so never mind.
No, that's right. You know, like we kind of, you know, bit of horsepower helps, and, you know, you get accused of a lot of things you don't do. So you don't worry about that and just move on with things, and we just worry about what happens inside our gates. So, you know, we've got a good bunch of staff here, and we work hard, look after the horses good, and if you do that, you get a success. So we'll just let the people out there be, and we'll do our own thing and let the success and the results tell the story.
Absolutely. Bloody good idea too. Well, thanks, Mark. Great week, and we'll tune in again during the week to see how the team's going to go. People can't wait to hear from you at the moment. They're flying.
Yeah, thanks for that. Hopefully we can keep the punters in the right direction. We got it wrong with Majestic Lavros, but the rest of the team got one good, and hopefully we can do the same again next week.
Brilliant. Thanks, Mark.
Cheers.